What's up, guys? That is crazy. I didn't think it was gonna kick me off and start me off. I thought it was gonna stay locked on the screen, but hey, we're a little early. Guess we can get right into this, man. As you guys can see with the topic of conversation, just give me a second. Let me just make sure I am good here. Interesting. Cool. Just all right, cool. This is cool. So I'm using the Fold, and it's like a little tablet, so I can read y'all's comments while you guys write. So it's pretty cool. Test this out, see how it works. But okay, don't know how this is gonna work out. All right, cool. Let me know if you guys can hear me in the chat. Should be good to go. Just gonna take a sec, say what's up to you guys. I see some of you guys are already on here. Cool. Just test this microphone. Loud and clear. Cool. What up, Holtz? It's good to see ya. What's up, Lee? It's good to see you, Lee. Both of you guys are on here early. Appreciate that. We're gonna just give it a minute again. What up, Jerry? Jerry's on here too. It's good to see all of you guys on here. We're gonna talk about, and Jerry Holtz, if you guys are on, if you guys want to hop on to this open chats too, you guys can let me know. See, if you guys didn't know, those are members of the podcast panel. We're just gonna kick it off, man. That's what we do. We're just gonna talk about cloud gaming, man. Just connect with you guys. Charles, what is good? You're saying, have I seen? Yeah, I saw that. He was doing I think just taking a look back at it to see how it is in 2020, right? I watched a little of that. It looks pretty cool. He seems, from what I remember, like it's made some progress. Still has some work to do, but it's made some progress. How do you say this name? Oroki. Am I saying that right? What's up, man? Thanks for being here. Carlos, what is good, my dude? Thanks for being here as well. Cool. But yeah, members of the podcast panel, if you guys want to hop on, just let me see if y'all are saying stuff in the Disco. But feel free to hop on. And again, it's just laid back, talking about topics of cloud gaming discussion. Give me a sec. Check with the panel. All right, no one sent me anything yet. Cool. They've been upgrading behind the scenes. Yeah, that is true. I tested it, almost 2 months ago. Tested Spider-Man. I did that for the NVIDIA Shield cloud gaming video, and yeah, the experience was definitely better than the previous year that I tested it. So hey, PS2 Pro Gamer, what is good, bro? Stadia Pro predictions. Oh, you're talking about the game. Oh, you know what, that should have been a fun head-in to discuss today, but I guess we can get into that. Yeah, we'll get into that here as well. All right, so let's talk for a minute about Sony and the PlayStation, man. It's pretty interesting because like people, and you guys let me know what your thoughts in the comments, but people are like praising PlayStation and PlayStation 5 like it is, the next thing since sliced bread, right? Which, don't get me wrong, I'm a huge Sony's fanboy. And I love PlayStation. I love all of the exclusives, and I've owned the PlayStation 1, I've owned the PlayStation 2, I've owned the PlayStation 3, 4, and I'm still trying to get my pre-order for the 5. I'm going to get it regardless. Again, we're going to do a lot of comparison videos in this channel with the PlayStation and the Xbox Series S and X, so you guys can see what next gen is like compared to cloud gaming, right? You guys stated that's something that you guys want to see. So we're going to do those videos. So I'm excited for the PlayStation 5. Don't get me wrong, but something I feel like Sony is if you guys didn't know, when the PlayStation 3 launched, right? That was one of the worst launch in Sony's history, right? PlayStation 2, again, as you guys know, is one of Sony's most successful consoles, sold really well, right? But you see them kind of get arrogant with the PlayStation 3. They hiked the price up to $600, right? They didn't make it easy for the devs. They said that they put tech, I don't know if you guys remember the cell processor, but it was a really big thing for the PlayStation 3 when it launched the E3 conference. That's one of the biggest things that they highlight. It's all about the cell process. The cell can do this, the cell can do that. While Microsoft took the approach with the 360 to make a console that was easy for the devs to create. So games took longer to make on the PS3, even though, right, it looked better, it played better, it just took way longer to make. So Sony forgot about its consumers with the PlayStation 3. And I feel like that's why the launch was so terrible, right? So here we are with the PlayStation 5, right? Sony again is very successful with the PlayStation 4. Definitely outsold the Xbox, outsold even with the Nintendo Wii U and the Switch combined. It's still outselling both of Nintendo's consoles. Right, so you can put them back in the PlayStation 2 era to where they are the dogs. They are really successful. And I feel like here is where they got stuck with the PlayStation 2. They are not thinking about what is the best options for the consumers. Now, I feel like where Microsoft shined with the Xbox 360 was they thought about the consumers, they thought about the devs. Let's make a console, number one, that was affordable, right? It was cheaper than PS3. Number two, it was easy for the devs to develop games for compared to the PlayStation 3 with the cell processor. So here we are in 2020, right? Microsoft, I feel like, is playing PlayStation. It's kind of where PlayStation 4 was, because I feel like Microsoft got a big head with how successful 360 did, that they forgot about the consumers and the dev with the Xbox One. They took the PlayStation 3 approach to where I want to make the best console and, hijack the price and do whatever we want to do. They forgot about the consumers and the devs. Sony right now, I feel like, is making that same move, right? Like they did with the PlayStation 3 era and with what Microsoft did with Xbox One, if you want to call it that, right? It's all about what they think is best for the consumers and for the devs, right? So they created a really appealing console and, first party games to back up the consoles, like you see with what they did previously with the PS3. So hear me out when I say this. The PlayStation 5 might win this generation console sales, right? It might win, but I feel like it's going to lose the console war. And some of you guys might be like, yo, Ace, what the hell are you talking about? Sony's making moves right now to make the PlayStation 5 successful at launch and beyond, like 5 years. Let's give them at launch and the life cycle of the PlayStation 5. What they're not making move towards is the future of the PlayStation brand, right? So you look at what Microsoft is doing right now. They are investing in studios. Some of these exclusive games that they invest in, these studios that they're buying out right now, we wouldn't see games come out from them until like 2 or 3, maybe 4 years from now, right? Those exclusives, if they decide to make Bethesda's games exclusive, we won't see like the next Doom, whatever it is 2 or 3 years down the line. Elder Scrolls, whatever number they're on, 6, right? It's going to be like 2 or 3 years down the line, right? So, but as of right now, 2020, the launch of X, we're not going to see those games. But again, they're investing for the future. So again, Sony is priming to have a successful 5-year term where Xbox is priming to take over the gaming market. So you see the investment that they make in buying out studios. You see the investment that they make in with Game Pass. People look at Game Pass right now, and some might not even view it as that big of a deal. But guys, one of the reasons why Microsoft is acquiring all these companies, all these third-party studios, is to create a kick-ass portfolio for Game Pass. Mark my words with this, right? They want to create an offer that is going to be so ridiculous to not want to pay $15 a month for, right? You see this with streaming media, with YouTube, with HBO, right? HBO has Game of Thrones, and people will pay to resubscribe yearly just for Game of Thrones, right? You see with Netflix, with Stranger Things, they have exclusives, right? That people wouldn't mind paying on a monthly basis to get exclusive to Stranger Things and whatever dope IP Netflix has. But that's the game. So here's Microsoft investing in studios so they can say, hey, this game is coming out, get people amped up for it. People will then want to subscribe to Game Pass. So again, what I'm saying here is Microsoft is focusing on long term, while Sony is focusing on just the PlayStation 5 life cycle, right? Tell me why the hell we haven't heard anything about PlayStation Now, right? At this rate, I mean, we're in September. September is almost done. We're going into October. PS5 releases in November. So in 2 months, PS5 will be out. We haven't heard any move about the PlayStation Now when it comes to Sony. But all we're hearing about is Game Pass from Microsoft, right? So how is the PlayStation 5 consumer friendly, right? Microsoft is saying, hey, give us $15 a month. You can play all of our first party studio games on any device you own that's not an Apple device. What is Sony doing to combat that? They go in the traditional route of, we're going to give you a box that hooks up to your TV. I'm going to give you exclusive games. That is not thinking about the future. That's been doing what has worked for you in the past, right? Where Microsoft is thinking about the future, how can we create a kick-ass portfolio, make it available for everyone to play on any device? That is the future. That's where tech is going. You see that again with streaming. I mean, with Netflix, Hulu, you see that with TV, right? YouTube TV. That's where the future is going with media consumption. But where is Sony? What part are they taking in that? Again, they're doing the traditional. Anyway, what I'm saying with all of this is Sony, I feel like the PS5 will be successful, but I feel like this is going to come back and bite them in the butt come the next generation of systems. So say the PS6 and the Xbox, whatever the hell Microsoft wants to call it. I feel like by then, guys, Microsoft will be ready to throw down with Sony. This generation, though, I feel like Microsoft is going to battle, but they're not going to win. But I feel like come the next generation, they're going to be ripe and ready to go at Sony. Anyway, enough about that. Just see what you guys are talking about. But you guys let me know what your thoughts are with what I'm saying here. Spider-Man PS4 save not carry over to PS5. I don't know what other games will have this issue. It's disappointing. Again, or they're not thinking about what's beneficial for the consumers, and they're not thinking about what is, good for long term. As to where Microsoft, I can literally pick up a game that I'm playing on my PC, take my mobile phone, and take it to my console, and all the saves carry over through Game Pass, which is such an amazing feature. Microsoft is turning xCloud into a beast. What is Sony going to do about it? The other cloud companies should be fine, but have some serious adjustment. Lee, I agree. What is Sony doing about cloud gaming, right? And my goodness, if they don't do anything about PlayStation Now, man, I feel like that's not gonna be good, man. The future's in the cloud, and I think everyone sees it, but I don't know if Sony does. But let's keep going. Serious Sam 4 looks like a blast and it's launching tomorrow exclusively in Stadia. And that's a big get for Stadia. And again, if you guys seen the title, I said Stadia is going to have another good week. One of the reasons they said that is because they made two announcements this week, right? They give us the 8 games that are coming, and yet they give us announcement on Tuesday of the state of Stadia, and then we still is the 23rd, and we still don't even know what October Pro games are going to be. So yeah, this is and Serious Sam releases this week. Even though we just heard that Baldur's Gate 3 was delayed, I still feel like this is going to be a good week for Google Stadia. So again, they have been doing a good job with Stadia for sure. Hopefully that keeps going. That keeps that momentum keeps growing for Stadia. I was barely able to get lots of yeah, just a lot of scapulas out there for sure. You see it on eBay, right? People are already like selling it for a ridiculous amount of money. But yeah, it's this, times of desperation with the finances and the economy. So I feel like people are trying to eat, man. Not saying it's the right thing to do, but you see more and more of this happening to where people are purchasing things and reselling them. But kudos to you guys. I have a friend who was able to get, and actually, Jerry from Game Tech was able to get a PS5 and an Xbox One too. So kudos to you guys who were able to get both of them too. On lunch day, it took me, oh, here we go. Took me 11 p.m., 3 a.m. To get it. It was rough. Xbox was just as hard yesterday. Yeah, so kudos to Jerry, man. Yeah. And that's the thing. You can't see, some people are just like, oh, these people, they are, taking away from, what I can put. But the truth is, scaplers are people who whatever they they put in the work. I mean, if you look at the amount of time Jerry stood here and waited for the place 11 p.m. to 3 a.m. up at night, you know what I'm saying? You can't hate on that. That's called hustling, so people hustle for this, so you got to give them props for that. So Ben says, how is it going, dude? It's good to see you, Ben. Holds, I never felt the pressure to gain a pre-order for both series, though I didn't like stores doing pre-orders more in the UK. Yeah, the whole pre-order fiasco was a mess. What's interesting is that after Sony had issues, Microsoft tweeted that they're gonna do better with the Xbox pre-orders. Yes, they gave us the time, but it was still as chaotic as Sony. Sony fumbled by saying it was going to be the next day, and they boom did it instantly after they had the announcements. To where Microsoft gave us the time, and still people still weren't able to get one. So, anyways, it's just a mess. I'm not, I'm gonna get one. I know I'm gonna get one, so I'm not too stressed out. But even if I wasn't gonna get one, to me, there's no like rush to be like, yo. I mean, what are we gonna play for PlayStation? Spider-Man, which we can play in the place. There's nothing. There's no exclusives. That's just like play me right now. And then with Game Pass, you can pretty much play every game that's coming out on Xbox on Game Pass, right? So there's no like rush to quickly go get a next gen console right now. There's really, at least for me, but you guys let me know in the comments. Are y'all like, yo, this is a game that I really have? It's not like the Switch with Breath of the Wild, right? That game, you like, yo, I need a Switch like today just to play Breath of. There's no games like that for next gen right now for me. Sony will probably sell more hardware, but not winning. You got all right, cool. Yeah, so you agree with this. Maybe we should do a lot of system in Japan to make it fair for next gen. Yeah, that'll be nice, huh? For sure. Funny, I really actually agree with you this time. It seems obvious was that. Oh, thank you, Lee. Thanks. I think with studios, MS is catching up to where Sony already made tons of investment and buyouts, hence the reason the exclusives are better. Yeah, Michael, this is a good point because something people fail to realize was Sony also went on a spree where they invested in studios. What studios did they invest in? I know they once purchased Zippo Interactive, who were the maker of SOCOM, and then the devs who made MotorStorm. Is it Codemasters? I can't remember the name, but they also purchased, and then they Sucker Punch, right? Makers of Infamous and Spider-Man. They just acquired them as well. And I can't remember the rest, but Sony did go on a acquiring spree. But what I find interesting, like they didn't acquire a big third party company like Rockstar or Capcom or Square Enix. They went for the second party studios like Sucker Punch Entertainment, and they also acquired Guerrilla Games, who were the makers of Killzone. Also, they Guerrilla wasn't officially a Sony first party studio, but eventually they did acquire them. So yeah, Sony did have a spree to where they acquire studios, but it's different from what Microsoft is doing. Though Microsoft's like, yo, we don't we can't compete with Sony on a first party, second party studio basis. So we're gonna get the third party devs. They're not do Sony didn't go after third party devs. Microsoft they got Rare, right? Rare was a Nintendo company, makers of Banjo Kazooie. They went for Rare. They went for the recent acquisition of Bethesda Game. I mean, they're going for like the big third party devs. So the joke is that if a third party devs is struggling, Microsoft is right behind them, waiting to acquire them. To me, that's a scary thing. I'll be real with you. I don't like that. It's good for Microsoft, and if you invest, it's good for you. But I just don't like. I don't like I don't know. I don't like a company owning all of that. You know what I'm saying? Like it's just it kind of kills competition for me. So anyway, what should be happening though is I hope Google is waking up to this, right? And this should be what Google is doing too. Is they should start looking to like acquire. I mean, they acquired a studio this year, but they're little dudes. I mean, they should start looking into chilling out cash for these big dogs. But yeah, it's Microsoft is they're doing some good things though. Can't hate it. Sony does not need to compete with Game Pass. They did make a small step with place. They do need to compete with Game Pass. um, you said they do need to compete. I agree, they do. For those people who say they don't need to, they actually do. And I wouldn't be surprised if we start hearing. I'm surprised that we haven't heard anything from them yet. But they can't run from this for that much longer. They need to start stepping the game up. Plus, Sony came out and confirmed they don't want a Game Pass model where exclusives are theirs. They don't see. Yeah, I saw that. They're like they don't want to put their first party games in a service like Game Pass, which again, they're so traditional, they're so old school, and I feel like in the long run it's gonna come back. Right now, this is a split. I would say the majority of the people are still traditional gamers, right? To where you're comfortable with a TV in front of you and the console right under your TV playing your game. I would say it's split between like 70-30, but I feel like the majority of the video game consumers are comfortable with where things are. But where the market is shifting to where this everyone has a screen, right? And so people are gonna catch on. You've seen that with TV, with YouTube TV, HBO. Everyone's trying to make a TV, and you've seen that with like media consumption with Disney Plus. They're going that route because they understand gaming is going to head that route too. So Microsoft right now has already started making that investment for the future, while Sony, by the time they get there, it's going to be too late, man. It's going to be too late. People like Microsoft can never dethrone Sony as the king of the console market. But with any business, you look at what happened to Sears, right? All those Sears, Macy's, they were on top of the game at one point before Amazon came. Right now, look at Sears. If someone would have told you like 10 years ago that Sears would be completely shut down and not exist anymore, you'd be like, what the hell are you smoking, right? But here we are in 2020, there's no Sears, but look who's at the top, Amazon, making billions of dollars. Technology comes and you have to advance with it. And I feel like right now, Microsoft's making the right moves to advance with technologies to where Sony's not. And I feel like at the end, that's just going to come back to bite them in the butt. It's going to be too late for them to make the adjustment that they need to make. So again, Sony might win this cycle, but the future, I'm telling you guys, if they don't start thinking that way, it's going to come back to haunt them. Sony has in the bag, they have a great console, great games, the cloud gaming service, which I hope, I don't know, man. I don't think Sony has in the bag for this generation, yes, but for the future generations, I don't know if they do, honestly speaking. They're more than enough time for some to make changes to PSNow to compete with other cloud services. It's just infrastructure. All right, Michael, let me tell you this, right? Soon, right? All right, this already talks of Microsoft already eyeing another big third-party dev, right? Imagine, especially like with 2020, with COVID hitting, you see some companies falling short. Companies, WB almost was bankrupt, right? Imagine if Microsoft would have acquired WB, Warner Brothers, people who made Batman. That would have been another, great acquisition. Companies are going to look to get. They're gonna get sold eventually. And I don't see Sony. Microsoft is really aggressive right now. I feel like if any company said they want to be bought and they're decent, Microsoft's there with cash to buy it. They are so aggressive. I don't see Sony being like that, man. So right now, we can say PS3 has PS5. PS5 has the best exclusives. But after Microsoft goes through with acquiring all these companies, 10 years down the line, it can be the other way. You have all these acquisition, all these great third-party devs under your studios, pumping out games after games. And then you can play pretty much most of those games for free if you have Game Pass for $15 a month. Man, like, it's just... Anyway, I don't want to take too much time on that, but Sony, again, you're going to hear this repeated. Sony might win this gen, but I feel like the future, Microsoft might really have that in the bag. Okay, cool. So you just replying to Game Tech. Also, the days of declaring a winner based on hardware sales are over, including the hardware. Only Microsoft will be the winner this gen. Yes. So you hear Phil Spencer say, right, they're not too focused on, they've already counted Nintendo and Sony out. I feel like they're thinking about the future. They've already said Sony and Nintendo are not the big competitors. They're more focused on Amazon and Google. And I feel like when you have something as big as Android. Screw Apple. But let's say Apple too, because I feel like eventually Apple is going to come in cloud gaming, on board for cloud gaming. But you have a how many? I think it's 1.3 or 1.5 billion Android devices out in the wild, and then iOS I think just crossed the billion mark too. And then you have how many PCs out there, right? These are all screens that can potentially be your consumers. I mean, when you talk about PlayStation, fine, the PlayStation 4 just passed 100 million hardware sold. Great. But you comparing 100 million to 1.5, just Android alone, 1.5 billion. And then you add iOS in the iPhones, iPad, which is another 1 billion. Then you add PC, you're talking about like 3 billion plus consumers compared to 100 million. I mean, you see what I'm getting at here. So you're right with this, Jerry. Hardware used to be what determined if you were successful or not, but times have changed to where these multiple screens out there. How can we get our product to those 3 billion screens? And that's the way Google thinks, and that's the way Microsoft thinks. And that's what I'm saying. If Sony does not adopt, they are going to get left behind. It's as simple as that. Technology. If people don't advance with tech, they get left behind. You look at Sears, you look at where Amazon is right now, right? It's tech. Anyway, just keep moving. It's the concept of Microsoft thinking. It had this good example of someone playing the Infinite game, Google it, Simon. Okay, yeah, I would check that out. Haven't heard too much about that, but yeah, my wife loves Red Dead Redemption on PS4 Pro. I switched over to Stadia, and she can't tell the difference. So casual game is great. True. There you go. How do you say your name? Coronado. Yeah. Again, the fact that she can tell the difference with something operating the cloud compared to physical console, says a lot. When will Rocket League Epic version be added to GeForce Now? All I have to say is stay tuned for our video tomorrow for GeForce Now news. There'll be more information on that, cool guy. To me, the only real winners are us gamers and content creators. What an amazing time to be into game. Looking forward for when Series S PS5 to gaming day. Jerry's going all out, man. Lots of I love it. That's awesome. Again, I agree. The consumers win with competition. That's why, I'm not a big fan of Microsoft purchasing all of these studios, because I don't think it's fair for competition. I'm actually surprised that the U.S. government's letting these deals go by. I'm thinking, like, when is it going to start being a monopoly soon, right? But they haven't said anything, so we'll see. But I do like competition. Scalpers, yeah. Stadia needs Fall Guys, Rocket League, Fortnite. Stadia needs to start making moves. That's what they need to start doing. Nothing against Stadia, but let's be real, man. Microsoft is being really aggressive right now. They're trying to make a statement. I mean, Sony too. Yeah. Oh. Stadia is I don't know, man. I think someone stated that this is the beta year, right? In a way, they're trying to figure things out. And it shows. I don't think Stadia is here to truly play ball yet. I think they're trying to fill things out. Something that they can pat themselves on the back is that they have a service that works great. But I feel like adding those pieces is going to take some time. But yeah, as far as these games, man, I don't think Stadia is at the place where they're aggressive enough to make investment like this. Microsoft, I feel like they're ready to just like be the top dogs in gaming. That's why we've seen them be so aggressive. I think Stadia is still in cruise control. I think that one day they're gonna wake up and be like, all right, time to kick it into high gear. And that's when we'll see them start making major investment and moves like this. But I don't think they're there yet. I still think this is the beta, and they're still trying to figure things out for sure. Let's keep going. Demon Souls looks like the only must buy PS5. No, Reggie. Yeah, I agree. And there's no games that like a Breath of the Wild type game that, I mean, Horizon comes out next year, and by next year you should be able to find the PS5. So no rush, right? None has days console exclusive needed. Yeah, I'm only getting console. Exactly. That's what we're doing here as well too. There's nothing's like play me now right now. Switch is the best. Switch, man. People next gen coming out. People are forgetting about Nintendo Switch, but my goodness, guys. I mean, Switch is still a beast. Yes, it's not. It doesn't have 1080p or 4K or 60. Some games 60, but 120. All that SSD. It doesn't have all that fancy jazz. But I feel like when it comes to exclusives, man, Switch is still still a dog, man. Is dope. Um, Call of Duty. Okay. What up, Vic? It's good to see you, bro. Tokyo Game Show tomorrow. Yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see what. Hey, what if Sony comes out and be like, "Yo, we're acquiring Square Enix at the Tokyo Game Show"? Now that would be dope, but no, I don't like that though. Here's the thing. I feel like if Sony acquires a company, is death to that IP coming anywhere else, right? Sony is not like Microsoft. You see what Microsoft is doing with their IPs. I mean, they bring in the games to PCs, they're bringing it to Nintendo. You see, already the Willow Wisps was just announced that their last Connect coming to Nintendo, right? I feel like if Sony buys an IP, you're not seeing that franchise go anywhere. So I fingers crossed that they do not buy Square Enix or any major companies, because that IP is dead coming to anywhere else, right? So that's the difference between Microsoft and like they were saying with Bethesda, those games are still planned to stay PlayStation, exclusives for a bit, and they said going game to game, they're gonna look into seeing if those games are going to make it to other which I think they are. Right, I think they are. I think we'll still see Doom and Elder Scroll 5 on other platforms other than Xboxes. I'm okay with Stadia for next year. Might build a living room PC next and not buy a console this gen. Yeah, what I wish, man. Shadow is missing a huge freaking opportunity right now. Because people are thinking the way you're thinking right now, right? They're thinking, shoot, I'm not able to get a PS5. I'm not able to pre-order an Xbox One. How about I build a PC? Instead of having to build a PC, cloud gaming could really shine right now. If a company says, and Maximus said and is doing this, so I have to give them shout outs, even though I know some of you guys don't like the pay as you go model. But this is, again, a missed opportunity for Shadow, because if they put the RTX 3080 or 3090 even, to go as far as that route, in the cloud and provide a decent price point for it, people will be like, yo, F building the PC, F next gen. If I can play these top games with the latest graphics card in the cloud, sign me the hell up. But Shadow's delayed to 2021 to get even the base model. So they're shooting themselves in the foot. Now, NVIDIA can do something special right now, again, with GeForce Now. If they come and say, we're putting the latest 3080, 3090 rig in the cloud for $5 a fucking month. Sorry to curse and swear. My goodness. For $5 a month, yo, people will go absolutely bat-ish crazy for that, right? They don't even have to do the 390, do the 380, and give us the 370 RTX with 370 4K resolution. People will lose their absolute mind. Again, cloud gaming can really shine right now with next gen and the new 3000 graphics card out there. Companies just have to be smart with it, though. Is Cyberpunk gonna run at 4K? I think this has been confirmed, even with ray tracing too. But I don't know if Stadia, if you're asking about Stadia having Cyberpunk with this, I'm not too sure. Again, on my Monday Let's Chat, I talked about the possibility that one of the reasons why we don't know when Cyberpunk is going to be released for Stadia is because they might be working on Gen 2, but Google can't confirm anything yet. And CD Projekt Red, they're all about pushing limits in graphics. So maybe they're waiting for Google to announce Gen 2 before they give us like an official release date for Cyberpunk, if that's what you're talking about. Take my money if Switch if Switch does cloud gaming, yeah. That'll be dope. That'll be dope. Aha. So this emulator is coming out now, Holtz, and I feel like in about 5 months we should have a decent emulator. Think about this, right? Put in an emulator on a virtual online PC to play in the cloud. So imagine like it for Shadow, right? Put in the Switch emulator in Shadow. Boom, you have that cloud gaming. I'm not trying to promote piracy on here, but I'm saying that's actually something that can be a possibility in about like 5 to 6 years from now. 6 months, not years from now. Switch Pro 4K, I'll buy one. That'll be dope. That'll be dope. That'll be really, really dope. Y'all are on the shot though. My goodness, where am I? I love it. I love it. All right, cool. The rumors Sony will bring Metal Gear 1 remake to it. I heard about that. It'll be interesting to see. I know this is a huge that's going to be interesting though, because Konami and Sony had a little fallout with just the Metal Gear franchise and Hideo Kojima leaving, and creating Death Stranding PS4. So I'm interested to see if they like made up and kissed and hugged, and that's why this is happening. But if this happens, man, that shows either they are giving Hideo Kojima the rights to Metal Gear again, and this is interesting. I'm wondering how this is going to happen, because when he left, you saw them be really like greedy with the Metal Gear franchise. They said he has, I think something about like he has no, Hideo Kojima, the maker, has no right to it. Now it's a Konami IP, right? And they created a Metal Gear game that was trash after he left. But what happens with this is what I'm trying to figure out. If this is the case, if Metal Gear is coming, then bring the rest of them, right? Because again, Metal Gear franchise is awesome. They make 2 with Raiden, 3 with Snake Eater. Like, get all those games. It would be dope to get them all. While they at it, bring Zona the Enders to PS5 remastered. I would love that, right? Love Nintendo. Been playing since '96. Had every console. Nintendo's great. I'll be real though. I wasn't a huge Nintendo fan because they burnt me with the Wii U. Right, I invested in the Wii U, and they pretty much gave up on that console, man. And I was like, not a big fan of that. So I was like, I'm never purchasing another Nintendo product. And the Switch just came and slapped me in the face, and made me apologize to Nintendo. But yeah, the thing with Nintendo is they like to gamble, which you got to give them a lot of credit. If someone would have came to Nintendo and said, you know what, don't make the Wii because it looks silly, it looks stupid, no one's going to want to do motion sensing for a game. Like, what are you thinking? The Wii never would have came out, and you probably wouldn't have seen other, PlayStation Move and Xbox Kinect come out. But Nintendo, they like to gamble, and sometimes they hit it, but sometimes they miss, like with the Wii U. Some people call the GameCube a success, but I actually call it a failure. They did have some decent games like Luigi Mansion on there, but the fact that they chose to go with that little disc for gaming, I feel like no, you couldn't store a lot in there, and you saw the competitors making some dope games, and the GameCube couldn't. So again, Nintendo has a hit and misses. Chris, what's good, man? Good to see you on here for sure. If it does really, that needs first party games to have graphic up. Yeah, I mean, we'll see. You talking about the emulate? I'm assuming, right? Game Pass need Tony Hawk. Then, that's the thing. Cornado, man. Microsoft has the pockets too, and that's what I was telling someone. I think on Monday when we're having our let's chat. I feel like something we haven't seen right now with Game Pass is Microsoft has not been aggressive to get same day release on Game Pass. For instance, like it'll be dope if we got Cyberpunk on Game Pass, but right now there hasn't been an announcement, or Call of Duty, the new one, on Game Pass. I feel like that's Microsoft's next step for Game Pass, because that's people's biggest complaints. And the advantage that Stadia has over Game Pass is the fact that you can buy, or you can pretty much play same day release games on there. As to where a Game Pass, if it's not a first party Microsoft Studio game, you probably wouldn't see it on Game Pass. So I feel like the next step is for them to now become aggressive with paying or getting, third party game same day release on Game Pass. So it'd be pretty cool if we can see a game like Tony Hawk or a game like Cyberpunk same day release on Game Pass. But Microsoft is, I think, gonna have to fork out some cash for that. Nintendo's really bad with that. I feel like focusing the mobile first, not liver. Truth. All right, so let's keep going here. You guys are on this shot. It's pretty cool to see you all here. Agree. Google needs to buy Warner Bros. Google needs to be aggressive. What's considered next gen when it comes to cloud gaming? 90 or 120 FPS more? I think if you want to compare it to consoles, it just has to meet what they're offering, right? RTS, load speed. It's going to be a good comparison. Again, we're going to cover that on there. But I want to see like how much of a difference SSD makes in next gen. Like we see with Ratchet and Clank for PS5, how you can go between worlds, and they said a lot of that has to do with the SSD in it. I want the load times to boot up a game from like beginning, and we're going to be comparing that when it releases. But how fast does it take to boot up a game compared to cloud gaming? But I think what defines cloud gaming's next gen is if it's matching what the consoles are putting out. Ray tracing, high FPS, 4K, stuff like that. Or a 3D route like Nintendo 3. Nah, I think 3D is done. It's gonna be interesting to see what Sony does. 3D gaming. I have Oculus, and Mark might disagree with me on this, but I had Oculus. I had PSVR, and it's fun. Don't get me wrong, it's fun, but it's just like it's not. There's a game called Blood and Sand, I believe. I'm probably butchering the name, but it's a Sony exclusive for PSVR, and I was like, if that game succeed, if I play this game and I feel like this can't be done anywhere else, then that game told me a lot about like the future, for me personally, the future of VR. And I was just like, okay, this is cool, but I don't see this being next gen when it comes to gaming as a whole. So I don't think VR is a good accessory to gaming for next gen, but I don't see 3D like being a thing anymore for gaming. Yeah, it'll be a good accessory, but not like a thing that a company would highly focus in. Oculus might prove me wrong with what Zuckerberg and Facebook is doing over there, but as of right now, I don't see that being a thing. Expect Cyberpunk and console version perform quality tie 4K 630, very much like PC. Yeah, you're right on this. You're right on this. What's up, Chief? Don't boo Sony, man. Don't boo Sony. I hope so. Yeah. Uh, is Amazon interested in gaming? Yeah, there's been rumors and speculation that they've been working on something that was supposed to be released this year, but with COVID, it was pushed back. But again, Amazon has a lot to prove to me if they, you know, are serious about gaming. Again, games from the first party studios, as you guys know, has been pretty crappy, right? And then something I've complained about with Amazon is how clunky the UI is if you go to use like a service like Amazon Prime. So I'm not too sold on Amazon. And what approach are they going to take? People are already doing it out there. Are they going to take a Stadia approach? Are they going to create a platform in the cloud, right? Are they going to make? Here's the thing: if they try to reinvent the wheel like Google Stadia did, I feel like they're not going to be successful because someone else is already doing that and beat them to that, which is Google Stadia. Are they going to take the Microsoft approach by offering a monthly, like for instance, if you're a Prime subscriber, you have all these free games to play? Who would go with Amazon compared to something like Game Pass, right? You get so they don't have an established first party portfolio. I mean, you look at New Worlds and Crucible; those games suck ass. But Microsoft, they have been investing highly to get. Don't forget, Microsoft did not have a good first party. I mean, they made the same game repeat, Halo. It was Halo, Fable, Gears, and Horizon. They 4 games just kept repeating itself, right? So it took them a while. They were like, "Screw this, we can't battle Sony, so we're gonna fork out money to get these games." What is Amazon gonna do? Right? Are they going to compete with that? They can't compete with that because it took Microsoft forever to create that. So they can't. They're going to be behind if they try to battle Google, right? Because Google started from ground up and is building their portfolio. Uh, that's going to take time. They can't battle with offering a Netflix like subscription because Microsoft. So what are they going to do? How are they going to compete? That's what I'm interested to see. What model, what approach are they going to take to cloud gaming? That's the only reason why I would see them being successful. And I think I've stated this before is if they bundle the cloud gaming with their Amazon Prime membership, because again, it's over 100 million people who have Prime, and you're giving 100 million people access to gaming for free, right? That's the only way I see this being successful. But again, what approach, what model are they going to take with cloud game? Because people are already doing it out there, right? So I'm just curious. Amazon Game Studio and cloud, yeah. I just want to know what approach they're gonna take. I'm expecting loads of next gen games to fall short of 4K 16 will offer truth. Yeah, I agree with this, Holtz. I agree with this. Kind of like with Stadia, touting that we're gonna get 4K 60 and then it releases and like I see the same thing happening. But over time, I feel like they're gonna figure it out and get it. But I feel like it's gonna take time to get these. If you just about playing on any screen you have, phone, laptop, or TV, to agree. For us enthusiasts, we can see the difference for sure. My wife plays. Yeah, I agree. That is the future. That is the future for any media platform, and gaming is the media, is one of those platforms. I feel. How can we get our content on every screen? It's a no-brainer. Tell me why a big company like Sony doesn't get that. I don't know. Hold on. So I have about like 8 minutes. So I'm gonna quickly scroll and just try to pick out some of y'all stuff here. Thank you guys for being here. It's good just chatting it up, getting to talk to you guys about cloud gaming. It's cool. I like how y'all are talking amongst yourselves. Digital Foundry videos for next gen. Yeah, it's gonna be cool to see what they have to say about that too. Ooh, they're gonna give us some really good breakdowns. City needs to make, hold up, what is this? Strategic partnership with Ubisoft and possibly co-management Devolver. Thank you, Charles. Thank you. Why isn't this happening? I mean, they tried with that Immortal game but the, it, again, though, like I said, I feel like Sony's still on cruise control right now, right? So I feel like they're just taking it, filling it out, trying to see. Do you still have the link for the thumb? Yeah. I feel like they're on cruise control, trying to figure out this whole something to consider with Stadia. They're actually a new console, right? If you want to call it that. So we can't expect them to go gun blazing first year, right? They're still trying to figure things out. Eventually, I feel like they'll get it. Sabrina, thoughts? There's a Google event on the 28th where Google's supposed to announce hardware. I think rumors have confirmed that we will be seeing Sabrina there. But what Sabrina is going to be Android and Android TV and Chromecast merge. I don't think it's anything to write home about. It comes with a controller, not a gamepad. I would like for it to be a gamepad. Now we know that Stadia is going to be releasing to Best Buy. Why not just bundle a controller in there and just call it a console, right? Seriously, I would be really shocked if they don't have a Stadia controller bundle with Sabrina. I mean, again, if that doesn't happen, this is again one of the stuff I'm talking about with Google and just the PR and the whole marketing. This is a no-brainer, right? You have products, bundle it together, and make an offer that is difficult for people to refuse. Sabrina's releasing, tie that in with Stadia, make it a console like you did with the Premiere. Premiere pretty much is a console, but instead of Sabrina, you put in Chromecast in there. Switch that out, put a Stadia controller with Sabrina, and call that Stadia. Boom, boom, boom. Watch that not happen. And that is the thing we have about Stadia. Just the two and two that they can put together, they just don't. And again, Sabrina would be a great addition. Thank you. But rumor has it, it doesn't. Michael, that would not surprise me. That would not. This is just what I'm talking about, right? Sabrina is just going to be the vice president. Yeah. Again, that is what is rumored to be, but it shouldn't be. It should be. Man, Google. I love you guys, but man, sometimes it's just the easy things that make sense that's just not happening. Drives me a little crazy. I think Sony is changing the ways a bit exclusive IP, at least PCs. They're announcing most. Yeah, I agree, but that's not enough. That's not enough. I mean, you look at. I agree. They are making some changes. Bring the first. I mean, they brought what is Horizon on there. They brought what is the other game, Heavy Rain and Detroit Become Humans. Those games were original PlayStation exclusive, now on PC, but they need to do more. I mean, you look at what Microsoft is doing, Game Pass compared to that, it's not enough. But yeah, I Nintendo Cloud Gaming sign me up. Yeah, that would be dope. Nintendo's the last company. I mean, we're sitting here giving Sony a hard time. If Sony beats Nintendo to cloud gaming, that would be really funny. I don't consider PlayStation Now cloud gaming. That tech is old. I consider PlayStation Now. This might sound bad, but I put PlayStation Now in the same category I put stuff like on live. I'm just being real. It's old technology. If you want to, that PlayStation Now right now does not even come in the conversation to like with Stadia, and because it's old technology. I feel like when they revamp it, then I'll put it in the category of I would consider Stadia. What even though Game Pass right now is old technology, right? They've talked about Series X blades coming next year. So with knowing that's coming, I put these categories as like next gen cloud gaming compared to where PlayStation Now is. I put PlayStation Now in old gen. It is. They offer old games with old tech. Like who the hell wants to play? So again, if Nintendo comes in and say we're putting out first party IPs in the cloud, they'll beat Sony to the punch, and that'll be funny as hell because Nintendo's the last company I would expect to go cloud gaming. Any idea what happened to Dead by Daylight? This month's almost over nowhere. That's a great question, Spectrum. I don't know. I don't know, but hopefully we hear more about that because I know was that supposed to release in September? I think it was, right? And also the other thing is Star Wars Fallen Jedi. That was when they unveiled that EA with Stadia. They said that game was going to be coming out this year, and we haven't heard anything about that game coming to Stadia. It would be good to know this. There's no way Stadia will run Cyberpunk until Gen 2. Stadia, the only place to play Cyberpunk without. Yeah, that's what you see, Jerry. That's what I'm talking about. With that's why we don't know release date because CD Projekt Red is not going to allow they're not going to allow this game to release on Stadia without it being its best, So again, I feel like that's why we are not hearing release date here. They're working on things. I feel that's five those moon. I got like 2 minutes, so let me scroll quickly through this. Switchery does. Oh, don't do that, David. Don't do that. Don't do that. Yeah, no, that was a terrible experience. I actually tested this out. And yeah, I know it's North America and the service in Japan, but even people in Japan was complaining that this was a terrible experience. This was an experiment. It wasn't true cloud gaming, but it was a terrible experience. Sony has tried, has treated lightly now. The place is more. Metal Gear will not satisfy current. That might be true. Metal Gear will not satisfy current because it will bring more people because Metal Gear is true. Okay. All right. Let's quickly scroll. Stadia is in the price. Stadia needs bigger footprint in gaming. It'll get there with time. You Tony Hawk is on except Stadia. xCloud Game Pass, stable 4K for cloud game. Yo, and that is the thing, man. That is the thing. And Sonny covered an xCloud video, and he stated this in his video, and I truly agree. xCloud is going to be a platform to reckon with. The limitation right now is the fact that they do not have the tech. They have the games, but not the tech. And I feel like once they get the tech, this will be a game changer for sure. So xCloud, I feel like right now, I'll be honest with you guys, I don't play xCloud a lot, and I play, like I've stated, most of my Game Pass games on Shadow. Now I'm using maximum settings, but previously in Shadow because it's just a better experience. But once they up their specs, 4K, all that stuff, man, they're gonna be forced to be reckoned with. Don't forget. Thank you. I quickly gonna just. I have like 0 minutes left here, but I'm gonna quickly get to these PSNow service. You guys are on here today. It's pretty cool to just chat with you guys. Cheap way to get. Agreed. Is you might two. PSNow is a decent service. Play games that was removed there to. And no, I don't like it. It should be called PlayStation anyway. Yeah, that'll be a nice name. Hopefully, Google gets wise and stop charging full price for all. David, maybe we should get. Maybe we say that the best performance we can offer. Huh, not bad. Samping. Yeah, Mafia is another game that that said rumored wise that should be coming, but we haven't heard anything about that. Another xCloud limit is that it can only run the curated library. I want to be able to. Yeah, that's what I mentioned earlier, and hopefully Microsoft will work on bringing, same day release third party games to xCloud for sure. My wife says, okay, play Assassin's Creed and runs on TV, nothing else. That's dope. All right, fellas, we got to end this here. Appreciate you guys. Don't forget, every Monday and Wednesday, we do this open chat. I do try to get to all of you guys' questions. and it's always fun. I can do this, like literally, if I had the time. Like I can sit here and chat cloud gaming for ages. I love it, and it's pretty cool that you guys are passionate about it too. And you guys just like to talk about it. This is fun. This is cool. So every Monday, Wednesday, we do this. Just give you guys an open platform to do this. On Saturdays, we have our podcast at 2 p.m. So if y'all want to see a huge panel of enthusiast people when it comes to cloud gaming, talking about cloud gaming, definitely check us out. We have some awesome people in the panel on Saturdays at 2 p.m. But I'm just gonna, Nix, what's up? Just gonna take a sec to say, uh, dead, dead by. Take a sec to say Mafia's not coming to Stadia. Hopefully it does. Xbox. All right, y'all. I'm here for it. Love you. Love you guys. Appreciate you guys. I don't know where that came from. My wife just texted, so she said, "Love you." That's where they get. But I do love you guys. Appreciate you guys, and we'll catch you guys in the next video or the next shot. Till next time, fellas. Peace out, fellas.